Elon, do you believe that Jesus, the Christ, is a real person who was crucified and died and is risen, and that God is Jesus?
What do you mean by a real person?
That he was alive back 2,000 years ago, and he was the guy who was crucified.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, no, I think I do think that's true. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you get into like these, theocratical debates of the Trinity, but I thought, but yeah, I think it's real. So.
Hi, Elon. That feels very weird to say, but
Hi.
my name is Chris Michelson. I'm a Lancaster County resident. We're really happy to have you here. Let's go, baby. Thank you, everybody. Look, I, like many of us here, feel that the very construct, the Constitution of our country, is at stake during this election.
I agree.
I'm a firm believer that those who can should, and I just want to say thank you for being one of the very few powerful members outside of the construct who have the balls to stand up here every day and do what you're doing.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
All right, there's a macho man's here. Look, President Trump has announced that he will appoint you as the head of the Efficiency Commission, right?
Right.
That's obviously a perfect spot for you, given your historical success running lean and exceptionally profitable businesses. One of my big concerns that extends beyond the disarray of our financial constitution here is the technology attacks that have happened on our country. 2021, the Colonial Pipeline ransomware attack.
Yeah.
2021, Robinhood, 7 million users' data stolen, their money held for ransom. 2023, T-Mobile goes down overnight. Airport attacks, airline attacks. Have you spoken to Trump at all regarding your expertise around cybersecurity? Are you going to have any involvement there? If not, do you know who is, and do you trust them? And I have one more question.
Well, I certainly don't have all the answers here, and I don't want to tempt fate, but like nobody has successfully hacked SpaceX or Starlink. There've been every day there are thousands of attempts to hack Starlink, and no one has succeeded. Again, I don't want to tempt fate here, so this is not a tempt. I'm not saying to hacker groups out there, please hack Starlink. Like, please don't hack Starlink. But thus far, there have been many attempts by individuals and state actors to hack into Starlink, and none of them have been successful. So, track record thus far is pretty good. No one has successfully hacked into. Yeah, so far so good. Don't want to be complacent or anything. No one has hacked into the Tesla mothership, like the Tesla core database. Many people have tried to hack into the Tesla core database. Zero successes. Yeah, I can certainly say, like, now government computers are not super secure because it's the government, so it's like if you say, like, what is an easy thing to hack? I say, well, government computers are an easy thing to hack. So it's not good. No, I agree. That's why I'm like, as a hardcore technology guy, I'm saying we should not have voting machines. We should not have computers, because they're too subject to being hacked and it's like they're subject to being hacked by, and the people protecting these machines don't understand technology, and they could easily be bamboozled. So even with the best of intentions. But it's really hard to bamboozle paper ballots in person with ID, which is obviously how it should be.
Appreciate it. One more thing, just real quick.
Yeah.
We've talked about baseball a couple times tonight. My brother's handicapped. Ryan, I love you. I'm sorry that you couldn't be here tonight. He's a White Sox fan, and he just wants to know if you would consider buying them and turning them into a reputable business. Thank you.
Well, I'm a technology guy, so I'm just. I got to pick my battles here. So I just try to make technologies that people find useful.
Thank you, Elon. Thank you.
All right.
Hi, Elon. My name is Vladimir. I'm an entrepreneur from Reading, Pennsylvania. I came all the way here to see you because I'm not sure if you're going to make it to Reading, Pennsylvania. I couldn't wait. Thank you so much for your contributions to the world. Thank you for Tesla, Neuralink, SpaceX, X. Everything that you're doing is incredible. And thank you for stepping up with your leadership to once again try to take our country back.
Thank you. It's kind of your say.
My question to you is regarding artificial intelligence, probably our greatest invention, hopefully not our last invention.
Yeah.
You were really advocating for basically regulating the advances that we're making on artificial intelligence. How long do you think it would be before we actually reach AGI, or artificial general intelligence and artificial superintelligence? And are you still up for regulating this amazing invention that we've summoned here?
Yes. I mean, I do think there should be some regulatory oversight for AI. Yeah, I mean, I kind of view regulators as kind of like the referees in a sports game. You know, whether it's baseball, basketball, any given sport, all the teams want to have referees, so that the teams don't break the rules and there's fair play. So I think there is sort of a right number of regulators for any given industry, but there shouldn't be too many or too few. Now there's basically no regulators in AI right now, so it's like having a game with no referees. That's subject to something bad happening. So my recommendation would be to have an AI regulatory agency at the federal level. It should be, not heavy-handed. It should be, but there shouldn't be nothing. In contrast, in other industries where there's excess regulation, because these regulatory agencies have just sort of grown over time to the point where there are too many referees on the field. I think the sports analogy makes a lot of sense. Like, you want to have enough referees to have a fair game, but not so many referees that people can't throw a pass on the football field without hitting a ref. That's the situation we got right now. It's like you're trying to run downfield, bam, you just bumping into refs everywhere. So we got to take some corrective action there. So thank you.
Whew. All right. Elon Musk, it's a pleasure to meet you. This should be sponsored by Dr. Scholl's. I don't know how your feet are doing it right now. I just want to say thank you for being here tonight. It's an honor to be here with you. I actually have been waiting for almost a decade to talk with you and ask you a few questions.
All right.
First one, I want to just break right into business. A friend of mine is building the world's brightest light in the world, powered completely by renewable and Tesla solar panels, and we want to know if you'll turn it on for us. It's been cleared, it's in Texas, the FAA approved it. Will you turn it on for us? Potentially.
Possibly.
Okay.
When you say brightest light, like, what do you mean?
Brighter than the Luxor. It'll hit
Okay.
the International Space Station and you can illuminate it at night.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. It can light up the whole Grand Canyon as well. That's what the engineers say.
Okay, that's a hell of a light. Okay.
It is.
Sure.
Tesla solar panels too, so.
Okay, great. That sounds good.
Secondly, we've heard a lot of prayers tonight. I just want to say a quick prayer for you and ask everybody to join me and just put your hands up and let's pray that God protects this man here. He's risking his life, his family, and his future for people here in a country who he believes in. And we believe in you, Elon, and thank you. Thank you for everything you're doing. And we ask God that he protects you and keeps you safe in your journey in protecting us and our country.
Thank you.
Okay, so my real question is, you've done a ton of things. You've literally enabled mankind to live amongst the stars.
Well, not yet, but we're
almost.
We're getting there.
Yes, and
Yeah.
I want to nerd out with you all day on this.
Yeah.
The NASA has been, touted that the fuel of the stars is hydrogen. I know, before you kill me, you're not a huge fan of hydrogen, and I understand it has its flaws. But we do have some incredible successes, and my question is for you. If I were able to help you and provide you with the right people and resources, would you be down to basically involve yourself with us and help save our planet?
Well, I do have 17 jobs. And with the Department of Government Efficiency, 18. So I have to be cautious about taking on additional responsibility because it's just physically impossible. But yeah, I mean, the biggest source of energy by far is the sun. So nothing even comes close to the sun in terms of energy output. The sun converts over 4 million tons of mass to energy per second, and it's been doing that for a very long time, and will do that for many, many billions of years to come. So one of the ways you can think of the progress of any given civilization is on the Kardashev scale. And so just a simple way of thinking about it is you're Kardashev level 1 if you've harnessed all the power of a planet. You're 2 if you've harnessed all the power of a solar system. And you're 3 if you've harnessed the power of a galaxy. We're very far from 3, it's safe to say, but even from 1. So when you think in Kardashev terms, it becomes very obvious that the sun is overwhelmingly the source of energy, and everything else is tiny potatoes. Tiny, tiny, tiny potatoes. But hey, tiny potatoes are fine for now, but the sun is overwhelmingly the big potato, the humongous potato. So it's really harnessing the power of the sun that will lead us to the stars.
Hi, Elon. Dave from Lancaster County. First, thank you so much for all the insight this evening and thought-provoking conversation. 2 questions. One, with slightly more than 9 days until the election, what would you recommend as a 30-second pitch to convince somebody not to believe what they're seeing on CBS, NBC, and ABC?
Oh, I've got a great solution for that, which is send them links to videos and information on the X platform. So if they say that, Trump loves Nazis, for example, like, well, actually, here's the whole speech where he categorically condemns Nazis. And yet the Democrats keep claiming that he loves Nazis, even though he specifically said he condemns them in the strongest possible terms. They still perpetuate the fine people hoax. Yes. It's pretty insane. So for any given thing that somebody says, well, Trump is this or that, just send them the actual speech. That's the antidote. Send them what he actually said.
Thank you. And then the second part.
X platform actually has that. So, that's the best way.
Hey, Elon. John Scott, your old classmate from UPenn, says hi.
Okay, cool.
Thanks for a great earnings call on Wednesday.
You're welcome.
My name is Raphael Aziz. I'm a Coptic Orthodox Christian immigrant from Alexandria, Egypt. I have lived through religious persecution before, and I believe that the liberal and the woke movement is a religious persecution today. It is anti-Christian and quite honestly anti-religion. You have posted on X that unless there is more bravery to stand up for what is fair and right, Christianity will perish.
Yeah.
My question to you, Elon Musk, is very simple. Will you stand with the Coptic Christian community, our brothers and sisters, the Catholic and Christians, and the Protestant evangelicals against the liberal movement that is trying to destroy Christianity and religion in America?
Yeah, I mean, I'm against the woke religion is fundamentally an extinctionist belief system. It's an extinctionist belief system, and I think we want to be expansionists. We want to expand to the stars. We want to grow as a civilization. We don't want to go extinct. And so, yeah, I absolutely support the Coptic Christians and I mean, really, anyone who's like expansionist, who believes in a future that is better than the past, in a future where we grow. I massively support that. So, all right.
Hi, Elon. I'm Jeremy, and I'm from Earth. More specifically, Bowmansville.
Yep.
But my question is...
address 1 astronomical unit.
Can you give some insight into your decision-making process and worldview? I mean, I have a lot of respect for what you've been able to accomplish so far, and you have a huge vision for what you want to accomplish yet. And in that way, there's a crossover between the areas that you're a subject expert in and politics. So if you have some insight into how you make decisions in your worldview, then that enables us all to trust you across a larger amount of issues?
Sure. Well, I'm a big believer in physics, which is like basically if you like, I mean, I sort of say like, everything else is a recommendation, pretty much, but physics is the law. Like if you break physics, the rocket will explode, and the car will not work. So you have to adhere to physics in order to make cars that work, and to make rockets that work, in order to make space internet that works. Because if you're wrong, then reality is a very harsh judge. Reality is merciless. If you make a device that doesn't work, that violates physics, it simply doesn't work, and then your rocket blows up and the satellites don't work and the cars break. So you either, if you make technology, you either have a rigorous, you have to, in order to make technology work, you must have extremely rigorous pursuit of the truth, because otherwise reality will bite you on the ass big time. Yeah. So, all right.
Hi, Elon. Thank you for taking the time to be with us today. My name is Justin Henson, also Lancaster County native. My generation is inheriting a housing shortage, and we're statistically less likely to take blue-collar jobs. Obviously, declining birth rates have been discussed. There's not going to be as many people to even fill blue-collar jobs. What do you think the solution is to the current housing crisis that we're having in this country in terms of pricing? It seems like my generation is getting priced out of homes, but also balancing the equity that people who currently own their homes have, and obviously not wanting to destroy that as well. What do you see there to be a solution to that problem?
Well, I mean, the risk of being repetitive, I think regulation is strangling progress. I mean, there's so many regulations. You can't even like modify your kitchen or, add something to your house without getting a zillion permits. So if we reduce regulation, you reduce the cost of new houses. So yeah, I mean, I know there's like many small business owners and builders in this audience and who are listening, and anyone who has tried to build things, whether it's build a house or do anything, build a business, you realize just how much of a government burden there is. It's massive. And there's a state burden as well as a federal burden, but we can at least do something about the federal burden, and then, that's at least we don't have to have like 400 and however many agencies there are. This is so crazy. I'd like to know if I bet there's not a single member of Congress that can name 200 agencies. I'd be surprised. So how many agencies do we need? 99? That sounds like a lot. That sounds plenty to cover the bases. How many bases do we need to cover anyway? 99 bases sounds like a lot. So anyway, I think we could just get the government off people's backs would be a big improvement in quality of life and cost of housing and everything else. So, yes.
Elon, what's going on, big dog?
Hey, how's it going?
It's a pleasure to meet you. My name's Nathan. I'm from Columbia. Anyways, so I was gonna ask, how's it feel to be the richest man in the world, and also can I get a picture with you real quick?
Well, we're on TV right now. So I think actually we're both live streaming right now. I think probably to millions of people actually. So yeah. So millions of people, I think millions of people will actually see us. We're now on screen for millions of people. In terms of how does it feel? I mean, it's kind of a strange thing because I guess like I'm still very much like a technologist who I just work a lot, and then my recreational activity is hanging out with friends and family and playing video games, which is, yeah, exactly. I play Diablo or other video games. It's like I don't have like any yachts or holiday homes or anything. So I guess if I was to maybe live a more hedonistic life and you know, had like yachts and islands or something like that, then it would make more. I don't know, maybe that would be more. I don't know, but that's not my idea of fun though, because I'm like, you know, I'm sitting. If I go to sit on the beach, then I'm like, this is boring. Now what am I supposed to do now? You know. So I just like building things, and I like being productive and doing useful things and making cool products, and that's it pretty much. I mean, I also do like hanging out with friends and family and stuff, but you know, I'm not like saying how can I sort of build a bigger yacht or anything like that. I don't have a boat or anything like that. So, of course I still love you. Yeah, of course I still love it. Yeah, oh, you're right. I do have boats. What are you talking? Of course. Yes, there's a boat. SpaceX has these ships that are for the rocket lands on. You know, so I guess technically I do own boats. Yeah, so I stand corrected. Thank you. Yeah, maybe I should like go sort of sailing around in one of them or something. You know. Yeah. All right.
Hi, Elon. My name is Bruce. I'm a voter here in Pennsylvania, and it is an honor to meet you. You've been a very strong inspiration for me and my family and all my friends, so God bless you for that.
Thank you.
I have a question right now about Latin America.
Sure.
You've obviously met President Nayib Bukele of El Salvador, who has done an incredible job.
He really
setting
has.
the flow of-
He's a very smart guy.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
Like it's like you know, we had a long conversation about many subjects.
Mm-hmm.
I think yeah, he's a really sharp guy.
Absolutely. So following on that, what would you advocate for in a second Trump administration to incentivize states like Mexico, Ecuador, and others into strengthening their policies on policing and economic opportunities to stem the tide of illegal migration to the U.S. southern border? Thank you.
Yeah, well, I mean, if there's prosperity in those countries, then I think there would obviously be less of a forcing function for illegal migration. It's pretty tough, you know. I mean, and there's some lessons to be learned there. Like when Chavez came to power in Venezuela, one of the first things he did was take the guns away from people. So he basically banned private gun ownership under the guise of, you know, safety. And then Maduro, when he had the election recently, he lost by a landslide and just ignored the election. And then people protested and they got shot. They couldn't defend themselves. That's why you need the Second Amendment. It's a critical thing. So I think it's worth looking at U.S. policies and saying, you know, which of these policies are actually helping other countries, you know, like we send a lot of money to various countries, but I'm like, does it do any good? I don't know. I think we should just do a thorough review of like, you know, do our actions actually help these countries, and why are we sending them our money again? and do the American people, like, if we're sending people's tax money to other countries, does it actually make sense? Like, is it doing good? Can it be defended to the American public or not? And if it can't, then I think we should probably stop sending money or send less.